You may have heard of Mr. Beast, a popular YouTuber with slightly more subscribers than myself, or you, or any other living person. And I was wondering, how did he get so darn popular? So I started looking through his older videos to try to look for a pattern, but this is a little bit hard to do just by thumbnails and titles and eyeing through data. So I decided to take a more data-driven approach using YouTube's raw data. In this video, I'll walk you through how I collected all of the data from MrBeast's channel, and then I'll perform some analysis on it to show you how his content evolved over time since 2012 up until now, 2021. If you don't care about the data collection part, you can just skip ahead. I'll put a timestamp in the description. And as a disclaimer, I got the data using the Stevesie data platform, which, full disclosure, I happen to own and is a paid product. But again, you don't have to use this to access the YouTube API. You can use any tool of your choice. To collect the data, I use the Stevesie YouTube channel to video details workflow, link in the description, which requires the channel ID and it'll get me all the video details. So MrBeast's channel ID is a little bit tricky to find, so what you can do instead is use the YouTube search API, put in his handle, and then you can find the results. And you'll see he's on the top as a YouTube channel in the search results, and we can get his channel ID here. And we just paste that into the workflow and then run this, and this will automatically collect all of his videos on my behalf from the YouTube API. So here the workflow got me 704 rows of data, which correspond to 704 videos that are public on MrBeast's channel. I believe he made a few private, such as ones with worst intros, but I'll take 704, that's still a lot of data, and we can cross-reference to make sure we didn't miss anything, 704 videos. So now I can open this up in Excel and show you a little bit what this data looks like and how we're going to visualize it. So I simply upload that CSV into Google Drive so I can work with it in Google Colab, which is a free service that lets me run Jupyter notebooks and play around this code using pandas and Python and some charting libraries. So here I just loaded the CSV as a data frame, and I'm taking a look at MrBeast's most recent 5 videos. So I can see he posted 4 in April. I can check out the published date. I can see the title of the video ID, so I can go ahead and look at it on YouTube. And most importantly, I want to look at the metrics like view count, like count, dislike count, and comment count. And I can see here that MrBeast racked up quite a few views in April, getting about 50 or so million for each of his videos, totaling about 200 million views in April just from those new videos alone. So now I want to simplify my data frame and only get back the columns I care about to make my life a little bit easier. So now I can see the time in which a video was published and some additional information, also the YouTube URL, and I calculated the like ratio, so the number of likes divided by the total number of likes and dislikes. Now I want to look at how many times he uploaded per month over time since 2012 and compare that with how many views each of his published videos received per month to this current date. And I can see, as I expected, he spent quite a long time since 2012 publishing without getting many views. This is denoted by the red line on the chart, which doesn't peak until later on in the graph. The white line in the chart shows how many uploads MrBeast did every month, peaking at 40 uploads a month, which I can tell you is a lot of uploading. And I just want to point out that that red line that peaks on the right side of the graph is not how many views MrBeast got per month, but how many views the videos that were published that month received for all of time. So for example, they start to pick up in 2018. It simply means that the videos published in 2018 started getting more views, not in 2018 necessarily, but perhaps in 2019 and 2020 when people started watching them. Now let's check out some engagement metrics like comments and likes. So I want to do this same thing and get the sum of the number of comments for each video per month. And I also want to show for each month what was the worst like ratio MrBeast received to show you that all great creators can have bad videos. So initially the yellow line below shows the number of comments and it lines up pretty well with the number of views. And the green line shows for each month the worst video's like ratio, which I can see here. The worst month he had was a 60% liked video. And some months he hid the like ratio, I don't know why. But we can see here in his most recent 2 years, the like ratio is at about 99% for his worst videos, which is incredible. So now let's take a closer look at MrBeast's beginning, the first 3 years from 2012 to 2014. I want to take a closer look at the videos he was publishing where he was uploading quite a lot but wasn't getting very many views. And I want to see where these little spikes are where he started to have some success. So this here is going to rank all of the videos published before 2015 by their current view count, so I can see which videos ended up receiving a lot of views up to the current day. And I see that the most popular video here was 1K subs, but I'm going to assume that most of those views came from after he achieved popularity, people going back to see how did he do it, like myself. And when I look at the distribution here, I can see quite a lot of the videos didn't get very many views. I think some of his worst ones received maybe 11,000, 12,000, but some of his best ones are at about 10 million. And when I take a closer look at his top performing early videos, I can sort of see a pattern where he gets a lot of views when he talks about PewDiePie, how much money he makes, how much money other YouTubers make, and there are a lot of videos on Minecraft, like drinks in Minecraft. I'll have to check that one out. And we can further analyze these videos by getting a subset of the ones that talk about money here. So I'm filtering only videos with money in the title, and I can see that he tried doing the how much do these YouTubers make, but the ones that really had success were when he talks about PewDiePie, and a lot of these other creators he covered didn't do very well, so he tried this theme with a lot of different creators until he found success. And I have to check out his Minecraft videos because it seems like there's a big theme where those got him a lot of views early on. And from the looks of it, again, I see the same distribution where a lot of his videos didn't get very many views, but some of the more outrageous ones that kind of took a concept you wouldn't expect to see in Minecraft, he made a video about and added some flair to it, performed well. Now let's take a look at 2015, which is clearly MrBeast's most prolific year, where he maxed out at publishing 40 videos in a single month, which is enormous. And we can also see that he did this despite not seeing a huge growth in views. We start to see a little spike towards the end of the year, but that may have not happened until years after 2015. And when we rank all of the 2015 videos, we can see that a vast majority of the views are coming from an incredibly small number of videos. So it seems that most of the videos he published in 2015 were effectively practice and helped him see what didn't work and made him a better filmmaker, in my opinion. So if we ignore the top two, which I believe are mostly views from people who discovered MrBeast after he was popular, we don't really see much of a theme anymore. I don't see a lot of things relating to PewDiePie or Minecraft. I see a lot more interesting questions though, or talking about very specific things with a shroud of mystery around it. So what my guess is that he published so many videos, he, through the process of elimination, started to find different niches that began working and piqued people's interest. When you look at these titles, every time you read one of them, you logically want to ask more and find out more about the subject, clicking on one of his videos. Now in 2016 is where it begins to get interesting. We see him publishing less, the white line is going down, but the red line is really starting to move now, and we're starting to see him advance into like tens of millions of views. So here we can see much less of a long tail, only about 50% of them get very few views, and when we focus on the top 50%, we see him kind of doubling down more on these outrageous pranks and using capital letters. And we also see him asking some interesting questions and critical questions about Amazon and YouTube, and we see him talking about YouTube intros and asking other questions around YouTube. So it seems like he's getting more aggressive now after he found his niche in the prior year. Now in 2017, we see him slow down even more. It looks like he's maybe now doing between 5 to 10 videos per month. But unlike before, that red line is sustaining itself and he's getting a lot of views and substantially peaks towards the end of 2017. And this is where he seems to cross the line from trend jacking, where he talks about other popular questions and topics in the news, to really doing his own stunts. This is the year 2017 where he does that infamous count to 100,000 and reads the YouTube terms of service and does a whole lot of outrageous stunts that his now established audience clicks on and shares to other users. Now we're in 2018 and we're publishing about 10 videos per month, but we can see that red line skyrocket. So this work that he's doing this year is what really propels him to why he's famous right now. And we can see here we get rid of that long tail. Most of his videos now all have a lot of views relative to each other. And when we look at the best performing videos, we see him now doing his money giveaways. And he seems to have built off of his success in the previous year by doing those stunts like counting to 100,000, but now actually doing more things like surviving underwater and making outrageous claims and videos and asking questions. He's definitely getting more aggressive now. And 2019 is just more of the same thing. This graph is misleading. It looks like his views peak in 2019, but remember, these are all-time views, so the only reason that they're higher in 2019 than in 2020 is because the videos have simply been around longer to accumulate more views. And we see that long tail go away. His worst performing 2019 video has about 30% of his best performing video compared to that long tail from earlier years. And we can see some of his top performing videos are again doing outrageous, silly, and now kind of just funny stuff. It looks like he doesn't need to be aggressive this year as he gained more comfort and has really found his niche and taken fan feedback to heart. And now we'll look at 2020 to present day, where again we see more of the same, and that red line isn't as high as it was the years before because the videos haven't had that much time to accumulate views. And here we see the same pattern, and we can check out the titles. Again, more just very funny, outrageous stunts, and a lot more money giveaways are performing well. Well, that sure was fun and a little bit humbling as a YouTube creator that it may take 6 more years to finally see some traction on this channel. If you don't want to wait 6 more years, you can help me out by clicking that like and subscribe button to see more of this. And let me know in the comments if you want to see more of this type of coverage on Mr. Beast. We can also cover what people said in his comments and look at some other data points I managed to scrape. Or if you want to see me do this type of analysis on other creators, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to cover them on a continuing series on this topic. Thank you so much for watching. Stay amazing, stay healthy, and stay data-driven.